Here we have the current stock market update for Boeing Company, stock ticker BA. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're going to be doing here for this chart is we're first going to start by looking at the weekly time frame. This is the longest term view that we can really be looking at to get a sense of where things are kind of most recently. And we can see that the stock this has been a very volatile stock now for quite some time. Really for the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of ups and downs here, and it has been a stock that has been in the news quite a bit. This is a long-standing company. It was a very good dividend payer. There are not many companies that can make airplanes. As easy as that might seem, it really is not an easy thing to do. So there aren't many companies that are able to do what Boeing can do. So it is an interesting stock to watch, even though they have seen so many negative headlines over the past couple of years. Recently, what we're going to be looking at here is this recent price break below support, which was found at, this would be 159.70. So this was a fairly significant price movement because, as I said, we are looking at the weekly chart here. So every support break on this price chart is very important. I mean, this is not the same as looking at a 5-minute chart or even an hourly chart. So every support break here is a significant price movement. And if we're simply looking at this chart on the basis of support and resistance levels, the next real level to watch to the downside would come in at 121.02. We are going to drill into this price chart a bit more here, but I do just want to get some of these basic levels kind of covered here. So we sort of just get a broad sense of what is really happening. So, this recent support breakout 159.70 was a very significant, event here because this could target share prices that are into the lower 120s. So that is a significant move lower. We will really need to be looking at the daily chart here as well, but I just wanted to sort of get a sense of where these broader support and resistance levels rest. So the first resistance level that I would be watching here comes in at 196.95. So this would be the price high this would be July 29. So now we'll take a look at the daily chart here because we do have sort of our basic levels that we will be watching. There are some developments on the daily time frame which should be considered here. So if we take a closer look here at these recent price movements, we're starting to see a little bit of a bounce here. So, the real question is whether or not, we have found a bottom here, and these price levels would be coming in at 146.02 is sort of that near-term bottom. So I think that I might actually go into an even shorter-term time frame here because, in my view, the real question is whether or not this bounce is going to be sustainable. It's very small in this chart because we're still looking at a daily time frame here, but I just want to look at the sort of broader levels first. So 146.30 is sort of this next main level of support, and we will just continue moving down here in the time frames. So next we'll look at the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and this is still relatively small here as far as the just the visual aspect of this. So, I would say that we're starting to run into a resistance level. As far as buying the stock, I wouldn't necessarily do it right now. Just because we're sort of running into this area here, I think that I should probably move down to the hourly price chart. Let's reset the chart here. So yeah, here, this is a bit of a better view here. So, this near-term low comes in at 146.30. So that is, of course, the main level of support to the downside. But then what you're looking at here near term is a resistance level with a price high coming in at 158.75. Okay, so that would sort of be this area here. And as far as buying the stock, I wouldn't really do it right now. I mean, I would either wait for a break of this level at 158. And then sort of wait for a movement sort of more like this, like you see a share price breakout to the top side, and then you sort of see this level retested from the top, and then you sort of start to look for another move higher, something more along these lines. I don't really like the idea of buying into a resistance level. If this was a bearish question, and I suspect it might be here because there is a bit of a bounce that we're starting to see, maybe a sellable bounce, and of course this longer term trend here is clearly lower. So I mean, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth here, but I'm guessing that this was really a bearish question. Like, is there a possibility here to start to short sell this stock? Without getting into possible options trades and things like that, just a straight stock trade. If I were to sell to trade the stock from the short side, I would then be looking for I think current levels can be used as a sell entry point, possibly with a stop loss above this, probably above 160 is where I would go with this if I was going to enter into a short position here. There has been a bit of a bounce, and I think I understand. I think I see where this question is coming from. Obviously this longer term downtrend, is where most of the momentum is resting, and then we are getting a bit of a bounce here. So I suspect that. The question is really, is this a good entry point for short positions? And I can see that. I actually, for a shorter term trade, I would actually agree with that. Because this is a bit of a sellable bounce here from 146. We're moving back into these highs. So it's almost a $10 difference here. If I was going to trade this stock from the short side, yeah, this would be a reasonable entry point, I would say. And then I would put the stop loss probably above 160. I think that the person asking about this generally trades options. So I'm not going to get into positions like that necessarily. I would rather just focus on where I think the price movement might be heading. So if I were to enter into this, the stop loss would go probably 160.60, somewhere around there, just slightly above that 160 level, to give us a little bit of space above this 158 zone here. And then I would probably be looking to take profits on the trade. If it was a short position, I would probably be looking to take profits on the trade right around 148 or so. I prefer to do it into support zones. I would prefer not to sort of bet on a break. I mean, you could absolutely see a break here because the majority of the momentum here is obviously focused in the negative direction. So, I do think that a reversal here after this bounce and then a break to new lows is quite possible and probably likely. But I personally wouldn't trade it that way. I would personally take gains ahead of this support zone if I were going to trade this from the short side. So overall, just to kind of summarize here, I would say that if this was a short idea, I do think that this is an acceptable entry point. Stop loss above 160, and then I would take profits right around somewhere around 148. However, if this was a bullish trade question, I would probably wait for a break of this resistance level at 158.75, a bit of a pullback then back toward that level, and then buy at that area. I would be looking to buy right back into this support zone as close as possible, but I would prefer to see that area break first and then fall back toward a retest, and then you can start to look for new highs, betting on a possible reversal here to the top side. So these are the two scenarios that I would be looking at, both bullish and bearish. Here is the current market update for Boeing Company, stock ticker BA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.